Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we are following a developing story out of Bell County, where one man is dead after an attempted home invasion. And an Eastern Kentucky police officer is recovering this morning after being exposed to drugs while trying to make several arrests. And widespread flooding continues to cause issues along the Mississippi River this morning. We'll take you to some of the hardest hit areas.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Taylor Upchurch. Today is Thursday, March 21st. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, how does it look out there today?
Well, the rain is almost here, Taylor, and we've been talking about that for a couple of days now with that cold front swinging through. But as we take a look on live pinpoint Doppler radar, you can see it off in the distance this morning. Maybe a couple of stray showers here across parts of eastern Kentucky, but the big line is still out to our west back into central Kentucky. Temperatures anywhere between 40 and close to 50 in most areas this morning. Prestonsburg there at 49. That's kind of the range between 40 and 49. And you see several degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday, including 10 in Harlan and 21 down toward Monticello. So your planner for today, scattered chances for rain back and forth, drier until a little bit later this morning, and then we'll see temperatures slow to climb today, only in the low 50s for daytime highs. The rest of the forecast is on the way here in just a few minutes. Taylor?
All right, thank you, Brandon. New this morning, a man shot during an attempted home invasion overnight died at a Bell County hospital. Police say around 11 o'clock Wednesday evening, they received a call from a man and woman screaming at their home on Bradfordtown Wright Road in Pineville. Police say when they got to the scene, the homeowners say they shot the suspect after they were attacked.
From what we could see in the house and on the homeowners, it was quite a scuffle.
Police will be in the area over the next several hours patrolling near the home. And a community in Washington state is mourning the death of a sheriff's deputy shot and killed in the line of duty. 42-year-old Deputy Ryan Thompson died after a shootout Tuesday night that left the suspect dead and another deputy injured. The Catatus County Sheriff says Thompson was the first officer to die in the line of duty in more than 6 decades and is also the county's first deadly officer involved shooting in more than 90 years. And a bizarre situation in Reno, Nevada left a suspect and a police officer severely injured. It happened Tuesday when the officer responded to a McDonald's on a trespassing complaint. The officer followed the suspect to a walkway where the suspect was shot. Since a Reno officer was involved, the nearby Sparks Police Department is investigating. And back here at home, an Ashland police officer is recovering after some scary moments Wednesday morning. It happened at the Ashland Inn near 31st and Winchester Avenue around 3 a.m. The officer was on foot patrol with another officer and came across 6 people who had outstanding warrants. After the arrests and finding drugs, the officer started to feel sick and was taken to the emergency room. Police say the situation could have ended up much worse.
The exposure to not just our officers is a concern, but again, the concern about an innocent person or somebody who just happens to be there, that person may not know that person has that on them.
The officer was not identified, but he was released from the hospital and is doing fine. A day at the beach turned into a nightmare for 4 young children in Florida. Police say a vehicle hit the children while they were at Ormond Beach Wednesday. Florida Highway Patrol troopers say the driver was trying to make a U-turn when he lost control. One child was flown to a hospital while the other 3 and the driver were taken by ambulance. Officials say the driver may have had a medical emergency before the crash. And a mysterious illness forced the evacuation of a North Carolina elementary school on Wednesday. 24 fifth graders and an adult at Petrie Elementary in Winston-Salem came down with a stomach bug right after lunch. Hazmat, public health, and emergency crews were all called to the school. All the students were treated and released to their parents. Officials don't know what caused the outbreak, but say the school is safe. And historic floods continue to cause major issues in the Midwest. Millions of people are under some sort of warning as the floods move south. Conditions are improving in Nebraska where the water is receding, but further south along the Mississippi River, the threat continues.
We lost roughly 700 head of hogs So it's been a little devastating, but the worst is yet to come. We got to clean it up.
Livestock stranded by the high water received airdrops of hay from the state's National Guard. Locals say spirits are generally positive. Despite the damage and loss, neighbors are helping neighbors as the community works to rebuild. And 1,000 people are feared dead after Mozambique was slammed by a cyclone so devastating, the UN said it could be the worst weather disaster ever to hit the southern hemisphere. Tropical cyclone Idai made landfall last week, leaving the widespread damage in its wake. The storm then moved over Zimbabwe and Malawi, leading to more issues in those nations as well. And Hurricane Florence and Michael caused billions of dollars in destruction last year. Due to the severity of the storms, officials with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration announced both storm names have been retired. People died from high winds and flooding after each storm hit the U.S. in 2018. In a statement, NOAA said reusing either name would be insensitive to the areas affected. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, if you're looking for some happiness in your life, we know somewhere you can go, and it's not one of those Disney theme parks.
The forecast won't make you too happy today, but it will improve quickly as we head toward the weekend. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.